What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to All Sports Talk, bringing you another episode. And today we will be focusing on the NBA playoffs, which get started today with the play-in round. Today, Tuesday, April 11th. Got a couple of games, one in the Eastern Conference and one in the Western Conference between the 7 and 8 seeds. If you're new to this play-in, obviously the play-in itself is pretty new. 7 faces 8. The winner then goes on to play the 2 seed. The loser then plays another game against the winner of the 9 versus 10 matchup. Those games happen tomorrow. So just a quick summary of what the play-in looks like. And in this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at those play-in matchups and kind of those first-round matchups as well, but especially the 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5 matchups because those are already set in stone. And I'll give my predictions for the play-ins, and with the teams that I predict, then look at those first-round matchups. Miami Heat hosting the Atlanta Hawks. This game, when you have a player like Trae Young for the Hawks, they always have a chance to put together a big game and to lead their team to a victory. But I think the Miami Heat, even just in one game, I think are a more well-rounded team with Jimmy Butler leading the way both offensively and defensively, Bam Adebayo in the post, being able to reject shots and create havoc down there in the paint. And so I think the Miami Heat, the fact that they're at home as well, the Hawks have been a very up and down team. I mean, that shows in their record, 41-41, right at 500. The Miami Heat as well, they're not, miles better than the Hawks. They're 3 games better, but I think they do have the better team. Tyler Hero is another option for the Heat as well. Kyle Lowry at the point. And so I think the Heat have the stronger team. I would be a lot more confident saying that the Heat win in a series. Predicting one game is certainly a toss-up, but I am going with the Miami Heat to win this one. And then the other matchup tonight, the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Los Angeles Lakers. Only one game difference between those two teams. But the big story, obviously, is Rudy Gobert being out for the Minnesota Timberwolves after that fight that he had with teammates and words that was exchanged and some pushing and shoving. And obviously, Jaden McDaniels as well, injured after, I think, punching a wall, or maybe it was a whiteboard or something like that, broke 2 bones in his right hand, and he's been a versatile option for the Timberwolves, averaging about 12 points per game. So with all that said, it sure does look like the Minnesota Timberwolves are totally outmatched, and similar to the last game, again, it's predicting one game, so it's a bit of a toss-up. In one game, especially without Gobert in the post, if Anthony Davis can play to the level that he can, then the Lakers are certainly the team that's favored here, and I would certainly give the edge to the Los Angeles Lakers to win this one. Anthony Davis always has those injury concerns, but as of right now, he is listed as probable for the play-in game. LeBron is also probable. He's still dealing with that foot injury. And then D'Angelo Russell is also probable as well. So that's not to take away. Anthony Edwards is still a star for the Timberwolves. He's averaging just under 25 points per game, just under 6 rebounds per game, and about 4.5 assists per game. So he leads that Timberwolves offense. And so I definitely don't think this is the sort of game where it's completely right off the Timberwolves. There's no chance they can win. They certainly have a chance, but I am going to stick with my gut here and go with the Los Angeles Lakers. So both of the home teams winning these 2 play-ins, which means that the Lakers would go on to face the Memphis Grizzlies, the 2 seed, and the Miami Heat would go on to face the Boston Celtics. So now looking at those 9 versus 10 matchups, you've got the Chicago Bulls at Toronto Raptors and the Oklahoma City Thunder at the New Orleans Pelicans. The Raptors are led by Pascal Siakam, who is a force down low. The power forward is averaging 24 points per game and just shy of 7 rebounds, along with just shy of 6 assists per game. So a definite option for the Raptors. But I think the Bulls team, I think they're going to be the one road team to get a win, and they don't have it's not a terrible road record, really. They're, all things considered, they're 18-23 on the road. So you expect teams to be kind of, the better teams will be maybe a couple of games over 500. Teams that are more middle of the road, like the Bulls are going to be, a few games under 500. But it's not like they can't win on the road. They've proven that they're able to. I think the Raptors won the season series, but I think in this game, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic all put together big performances and lead the Bulls into the ultimate play-in game, which I have them going up against the Atlanta Hawks. And then that Thunder-Pelicans matchup, one of the most underrated players in the NBA, and I kind of get a kick out of it for some of the skits that are online about him, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a scoring machine. He scores for fun. He's averaging 31.4 points per game. And the Thunder, because of him, have a lot of scoring. And the Western Conference as a whole has been less defensive, but I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a dependable option. The Pelicans obviously continue to have the injury concerns. Zion Williamson being the main name there, and he is listed as out. So they do believe he is close to returning to action, but he is out for that game. Brandon Ingram is the leading scorer for the Pelicans with just a tick under 25 points per game. And I'm going to go actually with the road team in this game as well. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander puts together a big game, and the Thunder advance then to face the Timberwolves. So now those games, the play-in games, I'll just run down these ones quickly because they're potential matchups. I'm just making my predictions here. They may or may not happen. But I've got the Atlanta Hawks against the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to stick with the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to have them getting through and advancing to go all the way from the 10 seed into the real playoffs and face the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. And then for that other matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Gobert, I assume, would be back because I believe he's suspended for just one game. And so with that in mind, I am going to go with the home team in this one and with the 8 seed to be the 8 seed in the playoffs and take on the Denver Nuggets. Those are the playoff matchups that I think will happen through the play-in tournament. And so I've got the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the the Chicago Bulls. I think that one's a pretty quick, easy series win for the Bucks. Probably 5 games. I've got the Celtics taking on the Heat. The Celtics have kind of taken a step down from when they were just dominating really definitely the Eastern Conference and maybe even the NBA, you could say. And so I think they'll maybe struggle to get their footing a little bit against the Bulls, but I think they probably win that series in 6. And then taking a little bit of a deeper dive into these matchups that are locked, set in stone, you got the Philadelphia 76ers against the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets in that 6th seed, Mikal Bridges has really stepped up and has several 30-point games. And he also finished the season playing 83 games. I saw he was the first to do that since Josh Smith. I believe for maybe the Pistons and Hawks that year when Smith did that. But that's that matchup. And then obviously against the Philadelphia 76ers, you've got James Harden and Joel Embiid, who is one of the front runners for winning the MVP. And so I think Bridges is able to put together some good numbers. That Nets team is able to maybe stick around a little bit, but I think the Sixers probably take care of business in 5, maybe 6 games. And then the final series in the East, you've got the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's my team for those who don't know, against the New York Knicks. The Knicks have got a solid, I saw an article on ESPN calling them kind of a mini big 3, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson. But the Cavs, I think, are a little bit more dangerous just because they have couple of really good guards in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and a couple of really good big men in Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. And so I think they have a better all-around unit. They are a little bit young, but this Knicks team, nobody really has any playoff experience. And so I'm going with the Cleveland Cavaliers to win this series in 6, maybe 7. I mean, it is the 4 versus 5, so it's probably the most even matchup. But I do think the Cavs are able to get it done. And in the West, as I said earlier, you've got the Nuggets I have going up against the Timberwolves. I think the Nuggets are able, Nikola Jokic leading the way, to kind of ease through that series. I think that might be the one out of all the series that ends in a sweep. Maybe a gentleman's sweep in 5 games. And then the Memphis Grizzlies against the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, they have a lot of firepower. And the Memphis Grizzlies, led by John Morant and Dillon Brooks as kind of an enforcer, have also put together a really solid season. And, for a good reason, are the number 2 seed. I think if the Lakers are able to slow down Morant, they have a chance in this series. I think this one goes 7 games. And I am going to go with the team, though, that does have the home court advantage, the Memphis Grizzlies, to win. Then 3 versus 6. This one might be the most exciting series in these NBA playoffs to me. You've got the Sacramento Kings making their first playoff appearance in 16 years against the defending champion Golden State Warriors, obviously with the Splash Brothers, with Jordan Poole, with Draymond Green. And the Kings are, have earned their spot as the 3 seed. They've got Domantas Sabonis as one of their leading guys, and then they also have De'Aaron Fox with 25 points per game. And so that Kings team is dangerous, but I think ultimately, even though they don't have home court advantage, I think playoff experience wins out, and I think the Warriors are able to win this series in 6. And then finally, the final series in the Western Conference is the Phoenix Suns against the Los Angeles Clippers. Obviously, the addition of Kevin Durant has been big for the Phoenix Suns, has paid off a whole lot better than it did the trade for Kyrie Irving by the Dallas Mavericks. They're not even in the playoffs. And I think this Phoenix Suns team have maybe taken a little bit of time to mesh and everything, but if they're able to score on a really good Clippers defense, led obviously by Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I think the Suns are able to get it done and probably win this series comfortably in 6 games. And so those are my first round predictions, my play-in breakdown and predictions. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Leave a comment below with your predictions for the playoffs. Like I said, I'm not going to dive into the later rounds in this video. Might make another one once those play-in matchups have been decided. But that's it for this episode of All Sports Talk. I'm Peter Burtnett, signing out. Peace.